Hi, it's Annalie. How are you today? I was just looking at my YouTube channel and I discovered that I had almost 300 views on my my video about my craft room, and that's so exciting for me because I'm just starting out with this. And I wanted to give a shout out to Annie, who commented and said that she would like to see a tutorial on how to put together a craft-a-flower. So, Annie, this is for you. I have just received the brand new Grand Dahlia from Altenew. This is a craft-a-flower. The craft-a-flowers, if you've never used them, come with a keyhole system. So this entire flower, you know that these are all together, partly because they're on one plate, so they get cut out together, but partly because in every center there's a triangle, and it shows you that these are all triangles. There's a mark up here. This flower is all a keyhole. So I know when I cut them out, even if they get mixed up on my mat, I know that every one with a keyhole makes the one flower. They also come with a tiny little etched mark. And I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny little number 3 right here. So I know when I am working with the triangular flower, this is number 3, this is number 2. So they're gonna stack up right together in numerical order, making it super easy to put together. So before we do assemble it, I'm going to color. I'm just gonna do a little quick ink blending. I am using today the Altenew Crisp Dye inks, Coral Bliss, Pink Pearl, and probably Vineyard Berry. We'll see when we get there. I like to start out with the lightest color. So I'm starting with my Pink Pearl. I like to use a larger blending brush. This one happens to be from Michaels. It's a Recollections one. I like it. I do also love the Altenew brushes. I just don't have a large Altenew brush at this point. So I grabbed some from Michaels. So I'm just going to start with my blending brush on my sticky mat to hold my flowers in place. And I'm just going to, I think what I'm going to do is do just the triangle first. And then we'll move on and make the other one maybe just a little bit darker so that there's a little bit of a difference. So basically, I just get ink on my brush and then blend it onto my flower. I can go all the way to the tips, or I can leave the tips a little bit white to make it look a little bit like a highlight. And then I also do like to go a little bit darker either towards the bottom or as I get towards the top of the flower. So based on the number on the petal, I can adjust the amount of ink that I'm using. But this one I'm going to keep pretty light all the way around. I'm in kind of a corally mood today. I think it's because I woke up to a beautiful coral colored sky sunset or sunrise this morning. It was really pretty. So this is just giving me a light base layer all over my flower. And one more. Okay, so this is all the triangles. I'm going to make this one a little bit darker because this is going to be the top one. That's it for the triangles. I'll do the center parts in a minute. And now I'm going to use Coral Bliss, and this one I will use a small Altenew blending brush. And this one I just come in right in the center and I go out a little bit, not all the way to the end. I just like to have the center part a little bit darker on each of the petals. on the whole thing. How beautiful, right? I will remove these for now. And then I can work on the ones that have the keyhole. And this one I'm going to start with Coral Bliss. Make this flower just a little bit darker than the other one. But still leaving some of the edges a little bit lighter, just for the highlights. Whoops, that doesn't work. And then I can come in with the Vineyard Berry. I need a smaller brush. I'll use the even smaller brush. And again, just do the insides. These are colors I always forget to use. Generally, I just have my tray of my mini inks, and I don't have these as mini inks, so I forget to grab these. But I absolutely love these coral colors. They're so springy and pretty, and just what I need on this 42-degree day in April. Not my favorite. Okay. So I'm going to take these off, and then I will work on the leaves. And I'm going to leave them right in place, because if I move my leaves onto this part of my mat, remember there's coral colored inks on there, and we do not want to pick up any of those inks and get them onto the leaves while we're blending. So either clean off your mat first, or just keep your leaves in a separate area. So I just got these 4 inks yesterday. Have not played with them yet. So I'm going to use these today. Probably not all, but I'm going to start with the Frosted Sea Glass. Brand new. Hard to open. There we go. And sometimes I just have to clean off my brush, especially because I don't know what color I used on here last. And if it's a dark color, it'll get onto that ink pad, and I don't want that. I do just generally have 1 brush per ink color family, so this is my green brush. I don't have 1 for each color green. So I'm just going to come in and do a quick ink blend. You know what I'm going to do? Different. I'm just going to go like this. And this will be my base layer. Now doing this is a very quick way to ink blend, very quick. But the difference between that and ink blending, like when I ink blend this, the ink gets right into each of the crevices. When I go over the top of it with the ink pad directly on, you can see all the white. So now I will go in, I'm going to try the Coastal Haze. And I will just blend that part way up. And you can see that that definitely gets into the nooks and crannies, into all the embossed parts. And depending on how you like it, you can either fill it all in or leave some of it. And I'm going to choose to leave some of the white showing, just for a different look. Pretty colors, beautiful, beautiful greens. And just for fun, I'm going in with the Misty Harbor, just to add just a little bit more to the ends, the bottom ends, like where there would be shadows under the flowers. I love these leaves though. These are going to be great for adding A lot of times I don't like the leaves that come with a flower. I'm always looking for just a good alternative leaf. And I like these leaves. These are pretty. These are going to be fun to play with. So there we have that. I don't think I need the green onyx. I think that's going to be a little bit too dark for today. There we have the pieces. I also have these that I have to figure out what to do with. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to really focus on doing this in screen because I have a habit of ending up below it and then you can't see what I'm doing. So today I'm going to focus on staying in screen. Okay, so I have my triangles here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here I have 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, so really all I do, these are easy ones to put to assemble. Some are a little bit more difficult depending on the size of the flower and the intricacy. This one is a very easy flower to assemble. So what I do is I take number 2, I flip it over, and I put the glue just around the triangle on the back. I used to put the glue on the triangle on the front, but sometimes it would kind of go over the triangle, making it harder to see. So if I put it on the back, it doesn't really get in the way of the triangle. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you can do it either way. I see a lot of people that do the glue on the top layer. I like to do it on the bottom. So there's 2, here's 3. This is a nice big flower too. Nope, see that didn't completely go where I wanted it to, but with the liquid glue I can change it up and put it where I need it. And then I'll do this one. Same way. These are nice big keyholes too. You know, some with the smaller petals definitely make it harder to, they have to use smaller keyholes and they're a little bit harder to line up, but you can do it. It's not impossible, just if you have any trouble seeing, sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but the good thing was the keyhole system. If you're, for whatever reason, when you're running it through your die cutting machine, if you can't see the numbers, generally you're going from the largest flower to the smallest, but there's also a guide on the inside. So this one tells you exactly the order to put in the ones with the triangle in the middle, and this one tells you how to assemble the ones with the keyhole in the middle. So there's always the option to look at your guide to help you. Okay, now these. Let's see, what are we going to do with these? We'll start with this, the bottom one. By the way, I cut this from cardstock that I had made using a pearl shimmer relief paste. All I did was just cover the whole cardstock, and then I scraped it down and let it dry just to keep it nice and shiny. And this way I can use it for flower petals, or I can use it for sentiments, or whatever I want. But I like to make my own kind of cardstock. So there's that. So I'm going to use the pearl pink for the bottom layer here. And again, I don't know if it'll even work to color on top of the ear or if it'll just wipe off, but we're going to explore this together. And then I'll use Coral Bliss. Berry. So it is also possible to take just a smudge of your ink, wipe it on your either a glass mat or a plastic packaging, and then add your shimmer relief paste right on top of it and mix the two together. And that way you have the color already mixed into your paste. I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna see if it stays. It did. Good. Okay, that makes that easier. Bring these back in. And then I can add these on. I just did this for shimmer. Now this one is going to cover up the keyhole. So now you just have to match the shape. Like that. And because it's shimmery, it's going to be a little bit slippery to work with. And I seem to have a hair here. Nope, that doesn't go there. Wrong order. That goes on the top. This one will go next. And then this one. And don't put it upside down. Put it just like that. So there we have two very simple, very pretty, beautiful, easy craft of flowers. And for the background, I thought I would keep it simple. And yesterday I got this new crystal 3D gel from Altenew. It's a new product, so I thought I would try it out. And I also got this stencil called Paper Echoes. So it's just a cool little background stencil. So I stenciled on my heavyweight cardstock. I stenciled with the crystal gel. And then today I did go over the outside edges, just like this, with a brush, just to give it a little bit of extra color around the edges, just a tiny little bit in the inside. But if you put something along the outside edges and leave the inside lighter, your eye automatically goes to the lighter area. And then I'm going to remove my mat so that I don't get ink everywhere. And then we can just play with how we want these to go. I do like to leave my flower, or my leaves, in kind of a triangular way. Generally, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I did cut extra leaves, so I don't need to use all these, but sometimes I do like to have a nice lush background area. Now I just said I would do triangular, but I'm going to add that one up there too. And I think that's kind of pretty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the bottom and I'm going to add my glue like that. What you can do, if I really wanted to make sure that this is exactly the way I wanted it, I could take a picture of it right now, and then that way I have the picture to look at while I'm reassembling. A lot of people do use press and seal, and then you can just put the press and seal right on here and pick it up and put the glue on and press it back down. That, to me, that's an extra step that I don't need to do, so I don't, but a lot of people have done that. For me, I'm just going to kind of keep it in place and pull the leaves out one at a time. And stick them back down. I'm gonna have to set this on there. Now I'm eyeballing. I do tend to eyeball quite a lot. Whoops. You can use your block to hold it down and still see through it so that you can use it and see what you're still doing. Making sure everything is just the way you want it. Mostly. Okay, so now I have that done. A little tip, if you feel like you're going to need to move these around, once you've used your foam tape, you can add glue onto the back of the foam tape to keep it so that you can still slide it around a little bit. If you're just using the foam tape, that's a little hard to do. It sticks immediately. But if you put some glue on the back, then you can still move it around a little bit. I'm going to tuck this one right under here and then add in that last. Look at that, I still have tape on my hand. This cardstock is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this one down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then because I love this Coral Bliss so much, I'm going to come in here and just go around the edges of this. And if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter, because not a lot of it is going to show anyway. It's just going to be a border for the background. The thing I like about working on the sticky mat is that I can do it one-handed. The sticky mat will hold my ink in place, it'll hold my cardstock in place. It just makes it super easy. Okay, let's see how this will look. See, just a tiny little border, but I think it makes such a difference. Now, because these leaves stick out just a tiny bit, I could either leave it like that and put it in a little bit of a larger envelope, but I'm not going to. So I will just flip it over, take my larger scissors, and just trim the edges. I find it easier to do it from the back side because the scissors just glide right along the edge and nobody will even notice. It looks good. I generally apply my card panel to the base with liquid glue. I do sometimes use double-sided tape. Every once in a while I'll pop it back up on more foam tape, but if you're putting it through the mail, that just makes it a little bit more difficult for the mail carriers, and I don't do that too often. If it's hand delivered, that's one thing, but there we go. Now a sentiment, and I think this one is going to need a few little sequins. So here I just popped on a sentiment from, I'm pretty sure this is a Spellbinders. I don't know the set, but I had already had that cut out, and I popped that on with some more foam tape, and I just added a few of the sequins from Altenew. So that finishes up the card. I hope this will help you when you are assembling your craft of flowers. I will also do additional videos with different flowers just to try to help out. Okay, if you have any other things that you would like me to make videos on, please add it in the comments because I would love to be able to help in any way that I can. All right, have a great day, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.